Hello and welcome. In this video we're going to discuss how to properly sharpen a knife. This is really important to do. Actually, I would suggest every time before you use a knife, it's a good habit to get into. That way your knife is always sharp. You always know how long it's been since you sharpened it 10 seconds ago. And you're much less likely to cut yourself with a sharp knife than you are with a dull knife. So a couple of sharpening tools I like to use are either the classic sharpening steel or a little bit more modern version, which is a diamond dust coated sharpening steel. So this works to take off material much more quickly than the regular old sharpening steel will. I just use this kind of for polishing the edge, but I use this for really fixing the edge. And when we want to take it, just hold in both hands. What you're trying to do with sharpening an edge is to actually take up the burr. If you want to see if it's sharp or not, go across the blade. This one's actually pretty sharp. And just see how it is, because if you do it the other way, you're going to cut yourself. And as you're building up that burr, you want to go away from you. And very even, gentle strokes, alternating sides. So you get a continuous, even burr built up on the edge of the knife. And check it. Oh yeah, it's sharper now. Now, what you'll often see is this classic sharpener, the Wüsthof. This is a Wüsthof version. The advantage of this is you can sharpen scissors with it. It has the scissors option here, which is very helpful, I find. You can sharpen scissors with the steel, but it's a bit difficult to get it right. You can also always use a whetstone, but a whetstone's a lot more work, and I find it's much more easy to damage your knife if you're using a whetstone. You have to really know what you're doing. So this has a coarse option and a fine option, but mostly I honestly don't use these anymore. I just go with this every single time, so that, you know, I take something that's probably going to be a little bit dull, or I'm just about to start cooking with it. Do even strokes all the way across the blade. Think of it as a function. Gentle motion, not pressing too hard. And see how it is. It could be a little sharper. And when you're doing this, try and make sure you maintain a constant amount of pressure across the whole length of the blade. That's a little better there. Sometimes once I'm done doing that, I'll sharpen it up, or I'll polish on it more honestly with this. And this you can put a little more pressure on because it doesn't have that diamond finish on it. It's just steel against steel. And so you're kind of just pulling off a little layer of steel to make a burr at the edge. You'll see a lot of people do it this way. That is incorrect. If you do it I should always be away from yourself, but if you're pushing on the edge instead of pulling on the edge, you're going to make a much less sharp blade. Yeah, it's getting there. It's getting pretty sharp. There are also small single edge, well, I should just like another diamond thing. I know they make them for like gardening tools, like Corona shears will make one small little tool with just the diamond finish on it, and it's got a flat block on it that you can go along and work up the finish on the edge very easily. Now, if you want to use a tool like this, you start off with the coarse edge, here, place it firmly on the counter, pull back, even strokes. Try not to hurt yourself. Always be doing this safely. Now we go to the fine edge. So this goes from steel to ceramic. That's its technique for sharpening the blade. Although with this, you can't really build up that essential burr you want for the edge, but this does get it, really pretty close in a general way to how sharp you want, and then you can go back and polish it more with the steel if you want. Always making sure the blade is moving away from you. That's how you stay safe. Anyway, I hope this was helpful, and I'll see you in the next video. May all beings be well. May all beings eat well. May all beings be filled with unconditional love for all beings.